So, welcome to the Darkening of Mirkwood. This is the sort of the side campaign, which we've affectionately named Diggy Diggy Hole, um, aka the Fall of the House of Ongi. Um,
Oh, even a very big house.
yes, but you guys will pull it to bits. I am quite confident. This is in fact session 118, which is actually, frankly, quite nuts. Um, so,
I ran into somebody who was on their 70th session of D&D at Fall of Strahd,
oh,
and I was
nice.
like, "You are off
We
book, son." Like,
we played the Curse of Strahd, which is the latest Strahd one, and there's this enormous dungeon at the very end where you have to
Yeah,
find
yeah.
Strahd. We bungled into the room within the first 15 minutes of entering the dungeon, bungled into the room that Strahd was in, and luckily managed to cast a fortuitous daylight spell and killed him really fast. And our DM was like, "Well, the rest of this dungeon, guess you don't get to find out what's there."
Okay, so speaking of which, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Halloween is coming up. I don't know what you guys' plans are. I have this idea for a game which I would like to run. It is called Let's Kill Strahd.
okay,
You guys would be rolling up level 9 characters, and basically it would be a 4-hour hit on Barovia that would end in a fight with Strahd.
I'm so down for this. My other DM also wants to do a Halloween game, so I might have to.
Yeah, well, we can talk about. I don't even know what day of the year that is. This
Day.
It's a Wednesday.
it's a Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I probably won't be running D&D on a Wednesday night.
We won't be either. So.
So, but anyway, we can talk about it. But anyway, I have an idea for how it would go, and I think it would be just a lot of fun. And sometimes it's fun to like unwind and play something that doesn't have lots of crushing long term consequences.
Can I play Joey Sunbeam, the gnome detective?
Yes, Ben. Yes, you can. But only if you promise to narrate everything you do in the third person, all night.
I'll practice my New Jersey accent
Yes.
and third-person narration.
Yes, you can go read some of Cash. What was his name?
It was a cold and stormy night.
Ace Brannigan.
I'm gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, no, not Ace Brannigan. Oh man, what was that character's name?
Yeah, Remington.
Remington. Ace Remington was this great character I had that was the buddy cop to Ben's character, and he narrated everything that he did in the third person. And he would always Ben was playing this female character, and Ace Remington was a giant chauvinist, and so
He
he,
actually had his own theme song.
yeah, he would hum his own theme song when he was trying to sneak into a building.
Sort of like Kronk in the Emperor's New
Yeah, there was a
Groove.
lot of. In fact, if you'd gotten the same voice actor to do my character, I think it would have been wholly appropriate.
Patrick Warburton.
Oh, that would have been
Would
amazing.
have killed it.
Totally see that.
Well, I'm definitely down for a Halloween dungeon.
All right, I'll let you guys know. We'll have to talk to Sophie about it and see if it can work into the schedule. All right.
Cool.
When last we left our heroes, the conversation with Kibblezun the Longworm went south even faster than expected. After a couple of whiffed introductions by Angi, the dragon's hobgoblin enforcers advanced and began to disarm the heroes. They decided to run for it, all except Bridius, who decided to stay and see how his conversation with the dragon played out. As the party fled, Little B managed to hold his own in a battle of wits with the dragon, at least so he thought. And after worshipping the dragon and convincing it to send him out into the world as his herald, the dragon insisted on sending Little B with some proof of his existence, and he was given the choice: gold or a gem of his choosing. Little B chose a gem, and the last thing he remembered was a searing white-hot pain in his face as the goblins held him down. Good thing you chose that. By the way, if you had chosen gold, it would have been your hands.
Yes, you told
So.
me that the Sunday afterwards.
Yeah. Also, I did roll. I think I told you all this, but I rolled 1d2 eyes, so it could have been both.
Yes.
So.
yes.
Yeah.
I could just be blind.
Yep.
I also have no weapons now, guys. So
And at this point, my recap will kick over to Idun's.
Like me to read it?
I would love you to read it.
Okay.
Can you give it to us in your best dwarven?
Oh, I'm not sure I do accents, but so, session 4. I was going to write that our meeting with the dragon, he calls himself Kibelzoon, didn't go as planned, but really I'm not sure what we had planned. Right off, he started demanding that we worship him, and of course that didn't sound like it could possibly end well, so in the end, I'm afraid I must confess we all turned and ran. All of us except for Little B. But more on that later. We all rushed back up the tunnels, which took quite a few twists and turns that none of us could quite remember from the way in. At one point, the hall we were following split into 3 passages that, at first glance, all looked exactly the same. But luckily, with a little closer look, I was able to guess the right one to take us back out of the mountain. The only problem then was that there were a bunch of hobgoblins waiting for us at the top. We put up a fight, but really there were too many of them for us. Angi got knocked out, and we were really lucky to be able to get away. We almost had to leave Angi behind, but Mar was able to hoist him on her shoulders at the last second. I still don't think we would have made it off the mountain if there hadn't been a bunch of elves watching us all heroically running for our lives. They picked off the hobgoblins quite handily with their bows. Then they took us back to their camp, and it was only then that we realized Little B wasn't with us anymore. We figured the poor little fellow must not have made it out of the dragon chamber. You know what they say, when you're being chased by a dragon, you don't have to outrun the dragon, you just have to outrun the halfling. I don't think that saying is so funny anymore. We spent the night with the elves, who it turns out were march wardens from Mirkwood. The elves told us we need to join forces with the rest of the Great Elf dwarves. They said we're heading for tragedy if we try to reclaim it on our own. I suppose they're right. A reclaimed Great Elf won't mean much if all its rightful folk are dead. So we'll have to confront that old slag-faced traitor Nar after all.
Somebody believes me.
The elves said they would escort us back to Thranduil's halls, but we said we would have to stay and see this quest through. It was only after we made our way back to the canyon that we found Little B wasn't so dead after all. But he almost looked like maybe he'd have been better off that way, poor little hobbit. His hair is all burned off and his face scarred, and now he has a gigantic diamond in place of one eye.
Very well done. So, you guys are headed down into Nara's camp. How are you going to go about this?
Well, it's good to see you all. I'm glad you all made it out alive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Little B is now, he actually shows up in a very well-pressed white shirt, khaki slacks, and a little blue tie, and he's here to tell you about our Lord and Savior, Kibelzoon.
I assume he's handing out, like...
Yeah.
Oh, gold piece for you, gold piece for you. Yeah, no, that's not how it happened. I have no hair, but I have a jewel. I'm just down one less eye.
You don't actually know that you have a jewel in your face.
Oh, I don't?
How would you have seen that? You know you've got something... You know you're missing an eye, and there's something hard right there, but...
Well, I got something right here because I can't see out of this eye anymore.
I say, old man, you've got something in your eye.
Oh, Little B,
Also, I have no weapons. They took it all from me.
well, I'd say you have a bit of a gleam in one eye.
Oh, I do.
I mean, yes, when the Lord's right, you might even say you have a certain fire.
Well, when you
But it's
talk with dragon long enough, that usually happens.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You got a bit of the stick and then a bit of the carrot, eh? No.
Could you speak in terms that this hobbit would understand?
you have a diamond where your eye used to be. It's a little messy, but it should please
Oh, so he did give me a diamond.
Oh, were you expecting a diamond?
Give is not the word I would have used. That's usually, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, perhaps say with a bit more clarity now.
does Little B still have his smoking pipe?
Oh no. They took all your stuff, Little B.
They took my smoking pipe too.
Giant diamond.
I do have a giant diamond, but I have no weapons. I'm down an eye, and I have no hair. Although the diamond is great.
But Arthur brought me back from Ukraine.
Oh, nice.
It might grow back.
I mean, it might, but have you seen the scar up here? You know, when a dragon puts his tongue up on your face to turn your eye into a diamond, it's usually that is very hot, very sweaty, and you pass out for a week.
Oh,
Well,
all right then. Oh. How about we just go ahead?
It's totally not what happened, but
about the,
it's
the
fine that
dragons
you
time
remember
and
it
the
that
hot
way.
And the sweating and just So, all right. Here's what's happening. We escaped, as you can see. We're all here. We've decided that, as it happens, it was a dragon, and there is an entire army, and we were rescued by elves, which, I mean, would be embarrassing if it weren't for the fact that we're alive.
I guess it would have been a bit embarrassing the other way.
I mean, it's
We're just dead.
I mean, on a certain front, it's mostly only embarrassing for the relatives. But
Oh, so you didn't get out without the help of elves.
oh, we got right. You do know the way. Just remember the path. But there were a lot of hobgoblins. A great many hobgoblins. Now, so we decided, and with advisement, decided that perhaps it's time that we took the opportunity to apprise my fellow dwarves and honor of our presence, and perhaps proceed in a bit more, I don't know, democratic fashion. Give them some options as opposed to simply, you know, I don't know, just no.
Well, Onki, I think if we're going to give them more democratic options, we probably ought to come up with some gold before we even count as being an option.
Come up with some gold.
Something to make them actually think your claim is legitimate. Otherwise, I think it's more
Have you met any other Grey dwarves?
Also, the fact I think I'm still a wanted hobbit in one of those camps.
Do the Grey Delve dwarves not care about?
Oh, we care very much about gold. We just don't have it.
Of course. That's because Gilbazern is sitting on all of them.
Right, and I rather think that the whole reason we're all here is to get our gold back. And
You could.
from what I've been gathering from your conversations and what's the other dwarf Freya's conversations, it's mostly a matter of the fact that we simply haven't been there to show them exactly our prowess in arms and give them some options. Right now, they think that they only got Nars word for it. If we give them some options, you know, let them know that Ongi's not just this boogeyman that lurking about and exists in these awful stories that Nars, I'm sure, spreading about abroad. Then I'm sure we could, you know, persuade them.
Well,
I just I think you might need a little more.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not. I'll say,
Well, the
little bee here is proof of a dragon, more or less. Assuming that they don't just say we're complete savages and didn't shave his poor little head and jam a rock in his face. It's extraordinary enough that I think probably they'll believe us if we say it's a dragon. So I think.
I mean, if you
I
need
think-
gold, you could go back and sneak all the gold out of Kibbazoon's place. Or perhaps even better, you could,
Can
take one of the scales off Kibbazoon.
Right.
That you fought with a dragon. I mean, that's a really crazy idea, but it might work.
Right, little bee, have you seen yourself recently?
Have I seen myself recently? I haven't
What?
even seen my smoking pipe recently. That's the worst.
Kibblezun, meanwhile.
Trying it with tiny pipe.
Smoking my pipe.
Such a small pipe.
I need another pipe.
Alright, little bee. When we go down to camp, I'm
Well-
sure that one of these dearly departed dwarvenkin will have a pipe that they are no longer in need of.
Holy,
What you
wow.
think, Sophie?
Barb's pulling out her durable iron kettle, and she's like shining up the side, and she's gonna hold it up so you can see yourself.
Oh goodness! I do have a gleam in my eye.
It's not a reflection, but you can see the diamond. The yeah.
Right, and he does have an army, so that's sort of step one. Get our own army, and potentially we could get some more gold after that step. But we will not be go as
Well, I mean, what did you need?
we will not be returning to visit Mr. Kibblezone at any time in the near future without proper preparation.
Well, I mean, you was quite rude when you was down there.
Well, you weren't. Look
That you were-
compared to how we're doing.
Right, exactly. I assume you were very polite.
Oh yes, I was very polite.
Right,
Very,
and that's
very
why you're bald and tortured in with one eye.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm richer than you are now.
Right.
Oh.
Well,
I'm rather of the opinion that you can get diamonds elsewhere, but my mother gave me these eyes, and there's really only two of them in the whole world, and it's sort of a priorities thing.
My world now. The other
Right,
one.
all right. Enough about going back around. Here's my thought. We put our little diamond-eyed friend here underneath in a cloak, right? So they don't necessarily see that he's the little freak that he is. And then when we come into camp, and I'm sure we goes into the presence of Nar and his various kinsmen and friends, we at the proper moment pull off the cloak and blind him with your very presence, your horrible head and your gleaming eye, and it should be suitably dramatic and a bit of evidence of an actual dragon. And then perhaps at that point we offer our services that I may not have entirely come to my senses, but for the sake of all grey dwarves everywhere, we should join forces, and he needs us.
Somewhere in the middle of him talking, Little B picks the pot back up, and he's like, "Well, I mean, this is a bit awesome. I wonder if they'll let me back in the Shire."
Perhaps
I mean, I think first things first, we have to survive this encounter.
right. It also maybe survive the walk down this, stone-covered mountain to the camp with only one eye. Depth perception being what it is now for you, my friend. All right. Are there any additional ideas or recommendations?
Does anyone have an extra weapon?
wait, could you even use it?
Right, I'm not entirely convinced that this.
Well, we'll take care of the fighting. All right, we've got that part.
Well, what happens if you all die? Because apparently that almost happened.
If you die, then
Y'all die. I'm
then
not worried.
probably-
I'm not worried about me. I can sneak off very effectively.
well, then I think that's what you'll have to be doing. If the rest of us are dead, then I mean, dragon encounter notwithstanding, I'm not sure that I'm right.
Anki, I think before we go down, if we're going to go down before we try to get gold, I don't see why Nar would let a contender for his throne live, or if he does, I don't see why he wouldn't have you make the same vow that you had. Name blank.
Flowy.
But hey, boy,
Make.
I think
I think if we go down there now, I mean, they'll believe about the dragon because of the diamond, but I don't see why he would tolerate a contender any more than you tolerated a contender.
It should be noted that tolerating Floy was not exactly just tolerating a contender. He was a treacherous bastard. I mean,
Isn't that what they think of you, though? I'm not saying they're right, but that is what they think, isn't it?
It
Oh,
just seems like it's the same situation, and to expect anything else of him isn't reasonable unless we have the standing to back up your claim.
all right, well,
Which isn't to say we don't go down now, but I think if we do go down, we don't really have the option to go back, and I think that's what he's going to ask of you.
if I have money,
I think what she's saying is if you go now, we're going down there to join Nar.
Right, not to be a contender.
I rather thought that was the point.
What you've said is that you aren't really accepting him, you're giving them options,
Right, there is.
which isn't the same as joining. Which is
No,
what
all right. Perhaps I should. Some clarification is due. We go down there, we join Nar's army, and that's when the rest of the Grey Dale dwarves and all kidsmen are able to see their options. Are able to see that, as it happens, they don't just have to accept this murderous bastard Nar as their king. They've also got an Ungi, and if I had any other kin, maybe they've got them too. What? As it stands right now. Only, I mean, Nar rather, is, as you say, and as you clearly brought to our attention, he has the gold.
Mm-hmm.
But you do bear a good point. We should bring something to bargain with. What about that one elf we met last time? Or not Kelloff, the elf he told us about, the one that's looking for something here in the mountains. Think we could find him?
If you
We've
want
got some
find-
vague directions.
But I don't. Why would we need to find him?
Because he knows these mountains better than any of us. And if we had some secret knowledge that Nar needs, well, it would rather keep him from murdering us, I think. Or at least keep him from... let the other dwarves know that perhaps Nar shouldn't murder us.
Well, we do know the way down into the back door of the mountain, right?
Right, but everybody knows that. I mean, they assaulted it last time.
No, they went in the front door, right? We went in
And
the
back,
back
right?
door.
Wasn't it? There's
No,
the dragon entrance, and then last time, correct me if I'm wrong here, Richard. There's also the upper door, right?
Yep.
The one on the map, and they attacked that with the Easterlings, and the others attacked that one, right?
Right.
But, as Kellogg the elf said, apparently this elf knows these mountains better than we do. As in, better than the dwarves that live here, and he's looking for something.
Dwarves don't live
Well,
here
find
anymore.
Right?
So,
Used to live here.
so if we're going to find this elf, the question is, how do we find this elf?
Right, I think we got some vague directions from Keloth, right?
I wasn't there.
Not really.
Passed out.
I
Having
don't
a diamond installed.
swear. I think it was more of a he'd find us if he wanted to find us. That's what I remember, but I don't. But I don't know.
That's fair.
Right. Well,
We need, and we needed the elf because I'm sorry.
because he knows things. We just discovered there's an old hobgoblin army with a dragon that we didn't know about before we got here.
Well, I mean,
And apparently, we've just seen the dwarves get basically massacred by something inside the mountain. If we could find out what else there is here, perhaps some backways, perhaps some secret trove of treasure, or perhaps secret weapons of ancient times, that'd be a bit of an edge, don't you think?
It would
And
be.
some,
none of y'all have been down investigating to see what happened.
we did. My kinsman was slaughtered.
By what?
Take one guess, Baldy.
Oh, so the dragon did come out.
No. You're bad at this game. Goblins, trolls.
Oh, there's trolls down there too. Well, maybe if you would go down there, go in an army, and then slay about 3 or 4 trolls in one setting.
Right, that was my original idea, which the good librarian here suggested perhaps might not be enough. And you know what? I think she's right. I think perhaps we might need a bit more bargaining chip. Hence, the reason to find our elf friend who has secret knowledge of these mountains, which we either have lost or have forgotten.
Well, what is even if we find this elf, who is apparently better at sneaking around than even I am.
Even how much you're talking right now, exceedingly.
What
To break it to you, but you are not very sneaky at the moment.
what makes you think that he's going to give out this information?
Well, that's what I said. According to Keloth, he's looking for something. If we help him find it, then perhaps he'll help us. You know, a bit of a quid pro quo. I don't even know what language that is.
Now you're making up languages.
All right, so let's do that.
Yes, Keloth was the head of the elves, the last group of elves we met. Poor heartbroken Keloth.
Singing mournful love songs.
All right.
So, I don't suppose anyone.
We've explored to the west side of the mountains, right? That's where the dragon's cave was, correct?
Like we went
I
back.
thought Keloth was going back to Mirkwood, to Randall's palace.
We're not
Right, he is. We're not looking for Keloth. We're looking for the elf that he referred to.
Did we reset
Oh, okay.
fellowship focuses last time?
Sorry?
Did we reset fellowship focuses last time?
You mean the pools?
Yeah. Well, I mean the overall whether or not we either gain a point of hope or a point of shadow.
I do not remember. It's been a few weeks.
It has been a few.
So what are you guys doing?
Well, we haven't explored the east side, right?
To the east of the Grey Mountains?
Right. There's the box canyon that goes down the middle. We need to explore the west side. We have the hobgoblins, a valley, and a dragon. The little bee here got his eyepiece, and then we haven't explored. We've watched goblins hopping in about on the east side, but we've never been on that side. I mean,
I'm trying to locate my map here, you guys.
we did it! We finally played a plan that Richard wasn't expecting, or something.
Ooh. Alright, so y'all's plan is to head east of the Grey Doe. Here we go.
But
I knew it was on my desk. So your plan is to head east of the Grey Delve and start looking for what?
Signs of elfish habitation, I guess. Possibly also, if on the other hand, if we find something else useful, perhaps a hoard of ancient dwarven treasure, weapons, secrets. That is a bit more of a bargaining chip than we've got right now, which is mostly, oh, here's this kid with a dragon in his diamond in his face. I mean, admittedly, if we wanted treasure, if we needed money, exactly how well is that thing in there?
As well as it needs to be.
Well, if I possibly just, give you an old slap on the back of the head, it wouldn't, no?
And
You wouldn't be taking the diamond gem anyway. I earned this. You're the ones who ran off. I earned it.
Is it? Oh, all right. So it's your diamond then.
It is most definitely my diamond.
All right. Well, don't be going and dying, because I might need it if you do.
You have to find me first.
All right. East side of the mountains.
All right.
Any objections? Any better ideas, guys? I don't want to just steamroll over everybody.
how far away is the troll horde? Not that
troll?
much about that.
Give me a lore test.
Oh, by the way, Richard, when I upped my wisdom last time, I got the art of disappearing ability.
Or give a lore test for that?
Yes, give me a lore test. All right, sounds good, PJ.
Cool. Okay. Whoa. That's bad.
What horde exactly?
Someone said this.
He's the only one who actually knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Well,
Not bringing it up in all these in-character conversations.
perhaps because I've personally,
Perhaps because his player has forgotten.
Oh,
What?
wait, Floyd. Wait, I guess Mara does know because at least she knows that Floyd betrayed them to a bunch of trolls who may well have had treasure. But I don't know where that was, unless Ongi.
did I know they had treasure?
It's a bunch of trolls who.
Well, all right, right. But that was also quite a ways back in the woods. I mean, we knew there's Basher here, but do they pack up all the treasure and all that with them wherever they go? Do they? Somebody tell me. Who knows about trolls?
Give me a lore test, Angi.
If anybody knows has.
I can't see what my roll was. These trolls? Anybody?
I
It's
have
it's a 9. Do you want to spend a point of hope?
I could not get there with a 9.
Even with your stiff neck?
Oh, good point.
Well, that's 3, so at 12. Darn it.
You only need 2.
All right, fine. I will spend a point of hope to get there and see if I remember this troll horde.
So what you remember from what Warsong and the others told you, remember you met them a bit after they encountered Basher and his trolls.
Right.
That's right.
However, you do remember that you were told that those trolls were sitting on a pretty large pile of Great Elf treasure. Or Grey Mountain treasure anyway. And they were located somewhere near the Forest Gate, in specifically a glade known as the Glade of the Dark Yews.
Right, I do remember that.
So we're on the map tab right now. You guys are basically right here.
Right, that's a long, long way away.
The Forest Gate.
So-
The Forest Gate is right here. It's not really that far.
Yeah.
How far is that?
The sun is way farther.
Yes.
would
Sunset
that be?
is in fact farther. You can give me a travel test to see if you know.
Oh, do trolls move their treasure?
I've got 3 points in travel. What do you want to know?
I do too.
The distance between where we're at and the forest gate.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Good grief.
Can you spend? Because then it would be a great success.
Okay.
Do we have company?
Yeah, I've got 5 in the fellowship pool.
That sounds right.
Yeah, what would that be? That would be sorry, I'm blanking. Okay, travel is heart. So that would add 4.
Yeah, that'd be enough.
Okay. So I'm spending company hope.
That's fine.
It's about 120 miles to the forest gate. If you're skirting, heading through the Vales of Anduin, once you got out of the foothills of the Grey Mountains, that would take you. Hang on.
That would take a while, wouldn't it? Like a month or something?
120 miles you could do in a week.
Yeah, a week was what I was thinking. But
You
I
talk
don't know.
about some traveling.
I mean, like you said, we're skirting the forest. So
Since you got a great success, let me calculate the exact time. Just give me 1 sec.
When was the last time that we did a fellowship phase in the sense that we could level up our stats?
That would have been at the end of last session.
Okay, because I've got a few
Yeah, if you want to figure
XP that
that out real quick.
That's XP, yeah.
Let me
And-
calculate the exact distance here. Let's see, that's through.
I forgot about that.
Rivendell is just on the other side of the Misty Mountains.
Yeah, you should visit sometime.
You think my chances of getting into Rivendell would be better than getting back into the Shire?
Mm,
You need to get an eye patch rigged up. Your eye is now more valuable than your life.
yep.
Well, I mean that probably is true, but
You can consider that set in character.
I still don't have a smoking pipe though. That is the
As
biggest
opposed to
problem.
some other kind of pipe, you keep using the qualifier. All right, so it would take you probably about 13 days to get to the forest gate.
2 weeks.
Oh, that's one way, so it would be like.
It would be a month of travel.
I don't think we want to be gone that long.
I don't think so either.
It'd either be gone a month or join Nar.
Or perhaps find another treasure or something.
But the difference is, I mean, we could find another treasure, but we don't actually know where to look for it. Unless we're going after the dragon treasure.
Right, but we do also know there's goblins that we've seen headed that direction. Or the one I was hanging with Flowey, my now departed pal. So
Y'all
there
were
is
pals?
something. It's called sarcasm, it'll be. So there is something to the east. And if nothing else, there's an horde of goblins. And who doesn't love an horde of goblins? Right? Right?
So,
No?
where's the map of where we're at
On my desk.
to the east?
Let me see if I have it on my desktop as well. Sorry.
If you scroll up in that chat, you should have the map I shared last time.
Okay.
I have it somewhere on my desktop as well, somewhere.
I'm trying to find it.
My desktop is not a beautiful thing.
Oh, the Hangouts chat?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just see if I can find it.
This is it right here. Yeah, I got it. Now I just gotta find a way to send it to everybody. I'll put it on. I'll just drag and drop it onto the
That'll
Weirdo
work.
Adventures. Boom! Look at that, fancy. Using technology. So my thought is we need to go toward the washing maid, toward the washing maid, the Grey Lady, and it's too small. What's that? That's that top one.
Yeah, I see. The starts with a I or a T.
World bird, something.
The one at the very top?
Watching
The,
me.
not quite. It's just to the right of where the Great Elf.
Yeah.
Dwemerhorn?
Yes, toward that direction.
Dwemerhorn, Grey Lady, Washing Maid.
Yes, that direction.
So go
It
over there and just see what we can see.
Right, we haven't explored that direction. We've seen goblins moving that direction, and we have. I mean, there's always the faint hope that we will encounter a elf, who. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's more of a bonus than something to.
All
right.
right.
We're heading east to look for treasure.
Well, if nothing else, to scout a bit, and if it won't hurt to know our surroundings a bit more, and if we happen to find treasure, that would be helpful. If we happen to find something, I mean, right now, as you said, we've got very little to bargain with. If we go to the east, we might in fact find something else. If nothing else, we'll find better. We'll know our way about better than we would have otherwise, which I can only imagine will be an asset if we decide to join Niall's army,
Mm-hmm.
or rather, when we decide to join Niall's army, or as I like to call it, the Narmy.
All right then.
All right. So you guys are just sort of generally exploring east in the hopes of finding something interesting, basically.
Well, we did, if I remember correctly, we did see goblins up there. So is there any chance that we could follow their track and see where they were headed?
So you goblins
mean
where?
Up last time we were surveilling the area, we saw goblins moving on the east side of the canyon.
Did you?
Was
We
that
did.
that we were
Well, we saw them on the mountains,
west side,
I
was
think.
Oh. Well, I was under the impression that we had at least one set of goblins that we had not followed yet, and that they were on the east side. No?
Fine. Shall we explore the eastern side of the canyon? No ethereal / hallucinatory goblins notwithstanding.
So, I got a question. If we're going to be exploring this, isn't there technically a fellowship phase to do this? So while they're exploring, I could be hunting.
Is there a fellowship phase for this?
Not for exploring. There's one for like scouting out the area, which you guys have already done.
Oh.
Right.
What you guys are talking about is a little more involved.
Still, did y'all find any food while I was gone?
Oh, the endless optimism of hobbits. The answer.
Right, so
So,
Lord, I'm good at hunting animals.
so you guys exploring east.
Yes.
Okay.
I think little B should be in the hunting position because I have nothing in hunting. And I think he
All right,
does.
so let's
Yeah, well,
get.
I haven't,
The huntsman, yeah.
despite being blinded in one eye. All that fun stuff.
That's right.
I used to have a 3 in hunting. But I just have a 1 now.
You do. If you guys want to arrange yourselves in your selected travel roles.
All right, I have a
I am the hunter.
I have a 4 in travel, so
Good grief!
I will be the guide if that's okay, unless
Yeah. What else?
All right, so there's hunting. I'm no good at hunting. I've
Are
got
you
to
good
explore. I should be
I do
exploring.
too. Does anyone have awareness though? Because I have nothing in awareness.
I have 0 in awareness and 0 in hunting.
Okay, how many do you have in explore?
3.
3. Okay, so you better do that.
4 and 3 in travel.
It's alright, a dude's got beginner's luck. It's sort of a latent ability, which is not on her character sheet, but affects everything she does anyway.
How much do you have in awareness?
Me?
Yes, you.
Fairly aware. I've got a 2.
2.
Well, I've also got a 4 in travel, so
Well, I've got nothing in awareness, and I've got 3 in travel.
right, I will go to the back of the bus and look out the back for everyone.
I'm not trying to punish you. I'm just thinking that when it comes to an awareness roll,
yeah, no, it's true. It's
it'd be
true.
bad. If
All
you're
right,
relying
I am
on me.
now aware.
Let's hope so anyway.
All right. So the way that we're going to do this is in a series of we're going to do a series of travel tests and explore tests, each equaling about 4 to 5 days of time that you spend exploring. And I've got successes set, so if you accrue a certain number of successes, you might come across something or someone. So everyone go ahead and give me your first travel test, as well as what happened to all the people.
I put all the non-playing people down at the bottom in neat order.
Oh, no, why'd you do that? I left them in the order they were in so I could drag them back to their normal spots when we were done.
Sorry.
Well.
Do you mean you can't just remove them?
Oh, I can. I was just trying to save myself the work of dragging the tokens back on Monday night.
All right, so
Oh, okay.
But
They look scattered and messy, so I cleaned them up.
this is the same reason I leave clothes on the chair, Sophie. It's because I'm going to wear them again when I get home. All right.
this is why British men have a shed in the back.
Yes. Okay, so everyone go and give me a travel test at TN16. And then, Mar, you can give me an explore test as you are the scout.
I have it set as
Well,
Nice.
well,
Oh, come on. Well, okay. I can...
Travel at TN what?
TN16.
well, I got an automatic success on that. That's nice. Despite being a hobbit with short legs, I can still travel quite well. We're quite hardy folk, in fact.
So I've been noticing.
I mean, we don't get that reputation for anything. At least 2 of us have survived an encounter with dragons.
I think we've all survived, haven't we?
I was just thinking that. I think we
All right.
actually survived.
Those of you who failed, if you failed your travel test, you gain 2 points of fatigue.
Did anyone fail?
Ben might
Only
have.
failed, with his 4 dice.
So, along most of their length, the Grey Mountains, the Ered Mithrin in the Elvish tongue, are basically formed of hard, unyielding rock. There's a great deal of granite traced through with limestone, along with iron and other minerals in great abundance. Because of this, the dwarves of old delved many mines here, but if they are still extant, in the first 4 days of your journey, you find no sign of them. The Grey Mountains are not a hospitable place, and there are very few things here except for the hardiest creatures. You do not see another living soul, as you're far from any roads or normal points of travel at this point. There are some sturdy mountain goats in these regions, which still thrive upon the peaks, where they scamper far above your heads, and there are hawks, as well as several small mountainous creatures which form their prey. But other than that, the only animal life you see are a few creatures near the various rivers and springs that litter the range, a few small prey animals, many different kinds of birds, dwell in the valleys cut by the cold waters, all abandoned. There are plenty of ravens and crows, however. Other than the howl of the wind and the rush of water and the occasional cracking of stone, the silence of the mountains remains unbroken. And you can all give me a second fatigue test at TN 16, and then another explore test from Mar.
So unkind, these dice.
Ooh, I can spend my 1 point of courage. That's what I'm gonna do. I have a great success.
All right. Okay. Those of you who failed to gain another 2 points of fatigue. One sec.
Still a ways out from the weary hill, thankfully. Still got some time.
We're digging a hole right into the weary hole.
Oh, not sure that exactly worked.
Maybe we can dig our way out of the weary hole.
Yes. All right. The dwarves of the Grey Mountains thrived here for centuries, but their works have long since been abandoned to dust and ruin. And you wander now in a vaguely eastward direction, not really knowing what you seek, through a land of lost realms remembered only in sad songs, sung within the halls of Erebor and the mines of the Aran Hills. There are no free folk in these lands. Even those dwarves who might wish to return to this place make, for the most part, their homes among the foothills of the Narrows, though admittedly most of them are now in Nar's army. You continue to explore, and you are it's very slow going. You've only managed to go a few miles. You've not picked upon any path, any ancient dwarven highways or anything like that, and the going is extremely difficult. If you guys are continuing on, I will need you to give me another travel test at TN 16 and another explore test from Mar.
All right.
How long?
I feel like this.
8 days now?
Sorry?
Are we at 8 days now?
9 days.
I would say if we don't find anything this time, we should go back.
Agreed. Yes. great with your explore rolls, though.
Haven't missed any.
Yeah. So I mean, we added up now, right? Right. Last day.
I've had 4 successes total because one of them was a great success.
You get 2 points of fatigue. Prettius. At this point, you're about 14 days out from when you began your journey.
Oh, so enough time that we could go back to that one troll horde.
So we actually do. Yeah.
Dang it.
All the dwarf holds in this area that were taken, that were deserted, either fell into disrepair or were taken by orcs and goblins. There are a few mountain trolls, of course, who made their way here from the Misty Mountains, seizing whatever blackened hole took their fancy. And when you do occasionally find a cave mouth, sometimes you find a couple of old bones, reminding you that there are now individuals who might lay a more ancient claim to this place than even you, Ongi.
What kind of bones are we talking?
Old bones of a
I mean,
vaguely
human bones, dwarf bones,
human bones, dwarf bones.
elf bones, troll bones.
Uh,
Like a bone.
mostly mountain goat bones, actually.
Bones.
Yes. Mutton for breakfast, mutton for
Ten
lunch,
bones.
mutton for dinner. Dry bones. In the mountains of the lower forks, and getting farther towards the east, there are ruins of another kind that now dot the mountainsides here and there.
Oh.
For the old kingdoms of the north once deemed this land to be their borders and built watchtowers to protect it. But these are all abandoned and crumbling. You can only see foundations here and there peeking up out of the stones. And the Great Mountains are mostly still and silent. Save perhaps for the deep places of the mountains, which you unfortunately have not yet to find. Do you press on?
Well,
Is there a way we can start heading back, taking a different route than we came?
You can certainly try.
do we want to? I mean, we're
I
running
mean,
the. I mean, it looks a little more interesting with the runs. If we go,
Alright.
what is the purpose of going back? Like, if we're gonna turn around and go back, what are we going back to do?
that's true. I haven't found anything. But on the other hand, like we said, we're dealing with a. Don't know what they're actually doing back there at the place either. Are they dead? Are they taken the mountain?
Make
I
a
doubt
difference?
It probably doesn't. You're right. All right, PJ, and
Can I,
yes.
I don't know. Well, I was trying to research how far ravens can fly in a day. Supposedly they can fly. Can I send my raven to just go? I know he won't be there and back immediately, but like, if
Sure.
he could go just tell us what's happening at the mountain.
Certainly. If you want to send him. In the meantime, everyone go ahead and give me another travel test at TN16 and another explore test from you, Mar.
216. Come. Oh wait. So this is an actual thing. I stiff neck this. Oh, stiff neck this. Good.
Okay.
But meanwhile, Mara's natural curiosity is serving her well.
There are two things she's good at. what we're rolling.
All right. So a couple of things.
I don't know if I like the sound of that.
Nothing!
First of all, about a day and a half after you send him out, you see Keely the Raven circling above you rather frantically, based on your familiarity with his normal flight patterns. And when he perches down on a rock in front of your knee as you kind of sit there waiting for him to land, he does not do the normal, like, song and dance routine of, like, you know, are you going to feed me before I give you the news or after and all that, you know, like, it's not normal Keely.
Wait, this is like I sent him up and he came back right.
He came back about a day and a half after you sent him.
Okay.
Ah! Ah! Flee! Run! Fire! Ah! Ah!
Kibazun has what is
Listen to the bird.
We don't actually.
Did the dragon come out
Ah!
from the mountain?
Ah! Dragon! Ah! Dragon has laid waste! Ah! Men! Fleeing the mountain! Ah!
Kibazun has come out. Now's your time, Augie. You can go back and you can slay this dragon, and then you can make your claim to
Ah!
Lord of the Great Elves.
Ah!
Because
Funny little man! Ah! Crazy! Ah!
let's be honest.
Dragon!
you don't-
Dragon came out! Dragon came out in the night! Ah! Laid waste to the barding
Get
camp!
away. Let the bird finish.
Dragon came out in the night! Ah! Swallowed up! Ah! 20 men of the bardings! Ah! Retreated into the mountains! Ah!
Did he swallow any dwarves?
Ah! Ah!
And how did the Bardings take this?
Ah! Saw some of them leaving! Ah!
I mean, that seems like a good idea. All right, little B, you had some insight to offer on dragons.
Yes,
The
totally honest here. You nor will have any claim to this treasure until that dragon's defeated.
Right.
What about the men of the east?
Ah! Easterlings seem to be standing pat. Ah!
What does that mean?
They're staying for now.
It's a poker expression. Ah!
You touch your bird poker.
Ravens invented poker. Ah!
We don't have poker back in the shack.
Can you tell if I'm bluffing?
Hey, boy.
Did
Just
you
like,
happen,
do we,
happen to notice whether or not the dragon had my smoking pipe?
He just tilts his head at you. You can't actually understand anything the raven is saying,
Yeah, that's
Brideus.
what
It's
I was
only the dwarves.
Oh,
wondering. Oh, the dwarves understand?
Only the dwarves understand the raven.
Oh, cool.
Erebor Hold'em. Wasn't that the whole premise of The Hobbit? Like, Thorin, like that last act of The Hobbit was just Thorin playing Erebor Hold'em with the Elven King and Bard.
I guess.
The other thing, though, is that on about the 4th day of this leg of your journey, Mar, you do find what appears to be an ancient dwarven road. It is so well concealed that it is merely luck that you even happened upon it. But it does seem to be leading up into the Gray Mountains in a northeasterly direction. And it is a road. Like, you could follow this.
Let's follow the road.
All agree?
All right, cool.
Are there any other thoughts or objections? Or following the road?
Marg.
Yeah, we might as well.
Follow the road.
I suppose it goes on and on.
Yes.
Yellow brick.
It's not a yellow brick road.
Goodness, that got very
I
strange.
think of all of the worlds that, like, you know, you could get yourself zapped into, or, like, you know, walk through a wardrobe into or something, Oz is at the absolute bottom of my list.
Agreed. Like, yeah.
Oz is basically
I think
the
Oz
worst.
is, like, really creepy, and I have never liked The Wizard of Oz. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
The movie is fine, but the Oz books are right out. Like, the Oz books are weird. And basically, there's like this intro to the very first Oz book. I'm going to just take up our game time ranting about this now. There's an intro to the very first Oz book. I have my philologist pipe in hand to make my points. Where he's basically like, fairy tales used to just be moralistic because you had to scare children into acting well. But because we're in this advanced stage of our culture, it's okay to tell fairy tales now without any scary bits. So we're going to tell a fairy tale without any scary bits. And somehow, The Wizard of Oz is his idea of a fairy tale with no scary bits.
Oh,
Still don't know if that was like satire or not, but anyway.
perhaps the flying monkey supposed to be less horrifying?
Don't know. Anyway, okay, so maybe I used too many monkeys. So you're following the road in this northeasterly direction. All right. For another 4 days, you follow this road. The going is now much easier, but still rather time-consuming, as you get deeper and deeper into the heart of the Grey Mountains. And Mara, why don't you give me a lore test?
Company? Is company hope okay?
I think so, given that this is our big moment.
That puts
I'm fine with it.
19. Wait, lore, make that 16.
Okay.
17, sorry. Nah, it's thing.
Above all things, the dwarves delight in the wonders of earth, the luster of gold, the strength of iron, the hard beauty of true silver, and the splendor of gemstones. All these things cut their way deep into the heart of Durin's folk. Beneath the walls of the Grey Mountains, in the most deep and impenetrable part of the range, long ago, the dwarves discovered a vein of precious stones that they had never encountered before. Once cut into many faces, these stones showed a bright green by day, but flickered and changed into a soft red in the light of torches or starlight. The dwarves held this wondrous new gemstone in great esteem, both for its beauty and for its hardness. And many...
I'm sorry to make you keep my connection timed out just as you were describing this fabulous gemstone.
Once cut into many faces, The stones showed bright green by day, but flickered and changed into a soft red in the light of torches or under starlight. The dwarves held in great esteem this wondrous new gemstone, both for its beauty and for its hardness, and many jewels and weapons were adorned with it. Whatever they named it in their own speech, only the three of you know. But in the common speech, they called it the Fireheart. The folk of Durin have long since given the source of the Fireheart gems up for lost, and see their glittering light no more save in the cherished works of ancient days. But Mar, you know that the Fireheart mine still exists. And though the paths that led up to it were lost, to your knowledge, the mine was never destroyed. And once, long ago, deep in the chamber of Mazarbul in Erebor, you found a map that showed what someone at some point believed to be a path through the mountains to the Fireheart mine. And as far as you can tell, that is the path which you are on now.
Yes.
And it is on the evening of May the 31st. When you see ahead of you an opening where the road that you are on seems to vanish into a blank wall of the mountains. And yet, as you round the corner towards it, the blank wall reveals itself to have been no more than an optical illusion caused by the angles at which the rocks were cut. And you see an opening large enough for wagons, mining carts to pass through, leading deep into the bowels of the mountain.
All right.
Well, I think this is the Fireheart mine. We may
Then
Oh,
found the solution.
Fireheart mine?
Yes, this is definitely something that is culturally important. How do we use it to our advantage?
Well, first of all, we've got to find out what's inside. I mean, maybe there's an ancient dwarven hoard in there. Maybe there's some ancient hillbilly dwarves with 6 toes. And I mean, I didn't always suspect that was a possibility.
Maybe
You
I can
know-
find a hillbilly husband for my second character too.
Well,
That's really
A dwarf and a elf.
This is beginning to seem like an unhealthy fixation for you.
well, Richard. It's your fault.
right, so also we explore, and then what? I mean, if nothing else, you and I, you and Mark, and all of us dwarves can say that we discovered the lost Fireheart mine. And hey, if all we come out with is a couple of pieces of Fireheart, that will be worth it someday when we get grandkids, I assume, if we have grandchildren.
I have grand hillbillies, Mary.
Well, I mean, when we're all grandfathers, we will someday. I didn't say it'd be soon, but someday.
So do we go in?
Yeah, I think we need to go in.
We do indeed. Now, Stay frosty, as they say.
Do I see? Can we look around for? Has anybody else been here? Is it likely that?
Angi can give me an awareness test.
Right, because I'm hyper aware.
What's it, a 14?
Yes. While you do that, I'm gonna go get something to drink and find another battery for my mouse. I'll be right back.
They hurt me so bad.
Even if I stiff neck with one, I'm one short.
Another point of shadow.
I'm gonna go and spend 1 point of hope to make that.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Oh, you
go
in-
for it.
Company help? Okay, that'd be lovely. So down to 3. Okay, so that's
How much experience does Ongi have?
Ungi has 29 used experience and 10 unused experience.
I
Nine.
should have like 2 more points of courage.
Yeah, Augusta, you should have been calculating off of Ongi, not off of Mar.
Oh,
Ongi's-
I
sorry.
did calculate off him, but I needed to know what you had to know who was higher.
Oh, I see. So you're
No.
total.
Total
Sorry?
of 39, yes.
30
Okay. I actually have. I have perched.
2 points of courage to me. Or left.
I guess I have 1, so it's not impressive, but it's something.
So, exactly what are these Fireheart gems? Or mountain or
Sounds like they're just
Well known among dwarves that, well, diamonds are nice, but that is an extremely large specimen. They're all, in fact, gems more rare than diamonds. In
is.
fact, gems that the recovery of which and the ability to mine is lost to modern knowledge. We, in fact, stand before the very gates of such a place.
Really? So
We do.
we may get filthy rich.
Well, I believe you already are.
Right.
Well, I'm richer. Oh yes, I am richer than any hobbit that has ever been in the Shire.
Even Master Bilbo, the one who came back from Erebor, you certain about that?
Well, I would be only second to him.
Even
Here's the problem, though. If you never if you never take the eye out and spend it, it doesn't really matter how rich you are because
It's true. Bilbo has more disposable.
Oh, it's he's got a little more liquid, as they say.
That's when a diamond is just a rock.
As I say though, one would hope that with this gem that far inside of your head, you might get a bit more clarity.
So my question is, do any of us have torches to go into this place?
I'm a dwarf.
I always travel with the torch.
All right.
I guess much.
What'd you get on that awareness test, Angi?
I got a 13, but then I went ahead and added a 9. So that
All right.
got me up to a much higher number, enough to meet it.
So as you kind of make your approach towards this concealed opening in the rock, Angi, you immediately smell a very foul, musty smell.
Excellent.
It's definitely smelled like something crawled in here and died, and then there was no adequate ventilation. Also, there are a number of bones. Most of them look like goat bones, kind of strewn about the entrance.
Right, so trolls, I'm guessing.
Each trolls?
That'd be my guess. But goat bones, horrible smell. Something lives in here.
I have old lore. Can I roll for trying to figure out what it is? It's on evidence.
All right, I will pass you my short sword for use.
Aha! I have a sword now!
Right, something stubby for my stubby friend.
Can I roll for what it might be?
This would be
Or-
a shadow lore
Oh, I have old lore.
or
Does anybody
hunting. I would accept
have lore?
I would accept a hunting roll.
Ooh, I have 2 in hunting.
But you can't see, right?
I can still hunt! It's apparently better than y'all can.
He can still smell, unless that went into one of his sinus cavities.
Hey, don't joke about that.
Oh,
My
man.
buddy JM just had a cyst the size of the tip of his pinky finger pulled out of a sinus cavity
Through his nose.
Through
like he's
his
being
nose.
involved.
while he was awake.
So can I make a hunting roll for this?
You can.
I got a 13!
Ugh.
Okay.
Spin for it.
I will spend a point of courage because apparently Ongi has an ungodly amount of.
He's probably my longest running character at this point.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. Given the rate you normally go through characters, the fact that Ongi has survived as long as he has.
Okay, so I got a 19.
All right. Based on the signs, Brideus, you've never actually seen a troll, but everything that you've read and or that you've been told during your adventures in Wilderland, you're pretty sure that a troll either has lived or does live here. Nothing looks particularly fresh. None of these bones are recent.
I mean, he's a troll. I don't know that we would expect anything fresh.
So, does it look fresh? But I'm pretty sure from these signs that we're dealing with something of a large size.
Well,
And trolls are large sizes. Not as big as Kibozu, though.
That. Thank you for that insight, Produce.
He is the evangelist of Kibblezone. I feel like he's doing a good job.
He's doing an excellent job. All right.
Axe is at the ready, and onward.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna is there any way that I could just like sneak in here? Like,
You can all give me stealth rolls if you would like.
Shall we go stealthily?
I've only got a 1, but I'm
I've
game.
got nothing in stealth.
I've got a 2 in stealth.
Idun
Could I
whistles
do that?
quietly to herself as she.
The lady dwarves can go in, not stealthily.
so
I
like
mean,
could
Could the
like
sneaky ones go in and then holler if there's something that needs immediate attention?
Help! Help! Help!
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
All right, not a bad idea.
I was thinking, could it just I like go in sneakily and then the others come in, or
You want us to let you scout ahead?
All right, you know what? That's not a bad idea. In the old tradition of the Hobbit burglar, we will allow him to go in first. And if you come back with another diamond ore, I call dibs.
I wouldn't be coming back out if I had another diamond eye.
Well, I mean,
Wouldn't be able to see.
you could feel your way. Yeah.
At that whoops, wrong button. At that point, little B runs off and gets a great success.
Nice.
Could I use? I guess I could use small or elusive to get my third. In the group.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
The dwarves are still jawing about like how likely he can come out with a diamond eye. That seems very dwarf-like. Like while the hobbit.
All right. Now it's a troll. We're going to see trolls who are clearly going into a this particular mine, Fireheart. I think you've met with a Fireheart, right?
I think that's more likely. And
Right.
since he's diamond to keep, he won't mind if.
Okay. So you're sneaking in by yourself, Bridius. Seems like a fine idea.
Well, I mean, it seemed like a fine idea to stay with the dragon at the time, too, but I got some tricks up my sleeve.
And yet here we are. When you first enter, there are two small chambers to your left and to your right. They look like there are no doors here. They've either been ripped off or rotted away. But they look like they would have been like maybe guard chambers right next to the entrance to the mine. And then there's just a really long tunnel shaft leading downward at an angle into the mountainside. You follow it for 100, 200, 300 feet before you finally reach you find another small room, kind of actually a little bit larger to the right as you're going down, and then immediately ahead of you, this long shaft joins a larger corridor running perpendicular to it. This corridor is probably 600, 700, 800 feet long. It is pillared. There are huge columns. I assume you have a torch. Well, you couldn't see any of this if you didn't have a torch.
No.
So,
well, probably so then. I do have tunneling as one of my specialties.
yeah, but you've got one eye. You definitely would have to have a torch to. There is a glint in the walls around you as you reach this lower corridor. Is not really the right word for it, but just kind of this colonnade. It is. There are glints in the walls that sort of match the glint in your eye, actually, all around you. And you look around, and for a moment, as you kind of raise the torch above your head, it's a little bit like the Fellowship in Moria. As you see just the vastness of this chamber. It's probably about 40 feet deep. And then probably 700 or 800 feet wide, and you see just countless tunnels and chambers branching off every 40 to 50 feet.
All right. Well.
In the distance, you can't actually see where the end to your left as you're standing there. Basically, the western end. You can't really see where the cavern ends.
Okay, but as far as I can tell, it's empty. As far as I can tell, I'm the only one in there right now.
As far as you can tell.
Okay, well, I'm gonna head back quietly to the others what I found.
Okay.
Do I need to make another row if I'm doing quietly?
No.
Okay. So I go back. All right. So I go in. And looks like there's so it's a hall. Look like there's two guard rooms in there. I didn't look in there, but there is like this huge, vast room down about, you said 400 feet, 400 or 500 feet from the entrance, Richard, is where I found the big room.
300 or 400, maybe.
Yeah. 300, 400, 500 feet maybe, but it's this great big room, and it looks like it's lined with precious gems.
Really?
Yes. Kind of like the one I have, but maybe different?
Well then, shall we?
Any trolls, from what I can tell, but doesn't mean could it be deeper in the cave. So.
Well then, good work, little mate. Gentlemen, shall we? I mean, gentle dwarves. Shall we?
Yes. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Does
Are
Andy
you?
not know that they're women?
Are you guys going down quietly, or are you just tramping down?
Let's try to go quietly.
Yeah, agreed.
Go and give me stealth rolls, everybody.
I mean,
Hey, I'm
probably emphasis on the try, but you know.
I got another great success. I am
Ooh.
good at this.
It's all right.
So, do their successes cover for our failures?
How many successes did Ben get?
One great success.
Oh, okay.
No, there are
guess-
2 great stealth successes.
Right, I got a great success, and then PJ got a great success.
4 successes total, and 4 of us. I could spin on mine if I needed.
They have enough to cover you so far.
Okay.
All right, so just as I described before, when you get to the end of the first long entry shaft, and you find yourself standing in this colonnade, these caverns were clearly delved. I mean, you can tell by the style of the architecture. These caverns were delved thousands of years ago.
Oh, by the way, I gave one of my torches to the dwarves,
Okay.
so I'm not carrying a torch now.
These mines were delved thousands of years ago. There are, in fact, glints out of the walls around you. It doesn't take you long with being dwarves to identify most of these as quartz, iron pyrite, things like that. Like, it's not precious in itself, but it's certainly indicative of a mineral-rich part of the mountain, which you are now in. Like I said, there are chambers leading off to the south and off to the north, and then also the western end of the chamber, this big long chamber that you're currently in that you cannot quite see. What are you guys doing?
Seems like if we're suspecting that there's a troll, are we going to try to find the troll first, or are we going to try to find the treasure and sneak around the troll? If there is still a troll.
Well, I would say sneaking would be good because if it finds us, we can always fight it then. But if we can avoid a fight.
I guess if I was looking for a troll, I would want to go to the other end of the big cavern that we can't see. If I was trying to sneak in and try to find something and avoid the troll, I'd probably go to one of the smaller ones. Like more enclosed, harder for a troll to get into. So should we look at the other big end? The other end of the big cavern that we see from here?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Any objections?
And we do,
Well-
Nope.
which means, I mean, we can sneak, but I would think there's only so much you can do to hide a torch in a dark.
So you're thinking we go after possible troll first?
Or at least scout a little farther before we.
Knock ourselves off.
Ongi, give me an awareness test.
Well, maybe this will make our deliberations moot. Pun intended.
Gah! All right. I will go ahead and spend a point of hope to bring that up to 17.
As you approach the
Actually,
western end of this huge corridor that you're in now, you notice that something is wrong with the light. Specifically, the way to your right, to your left, back behind you, is still glittering off all of these surfaces, but ahead of you, out past a certain point, the light doesn't seem to go anywhere. And you realize as you get closer, it's because you are coming to the edge of an enormously deep chasm. And if you had not been paying close attention, you guys would have probably walked right off the edge.
I soccer mom everybody.
As you do that, you hear a low
So, in other words, if anybody fails a stealth check, that thing's probably gonna wake up.
Right.
Get a piercing blow.
What?
Piercing blow on something that's asleep.
Is it a sin to murder a sleeping troll?
I'm wondering that too.
As you turn around, you see about 12 feet to your left what, as you passed it, you just assumed was a large pile of rocks.
Ooh.
But which, upon further reflection, does indeed seem to be a very large mountain troll.
Right then.
Okay. Out of character. How do you go about, I guess, stealthily killing something like this?
It'll be an attack roll.
Okay.
The creature in question will have no parry for the
Okay.
purposes of the attack roll, so it'll just be flat based on your location.
Okay.
And I guess I better move you guys to the battle mat. I forgot
Right.
Grey Delve had its own travel map. I could have saved myself a lot of trouble earlier.
Is it
No.
the case that we kill this thing because of piercing blow?
I could not understand you. Say that again, Soph.
Is it the case that we can only kill this thing with a spear because of piercing blow, or is that different?
Piercing blow is the specific called shot for spear.
Right. But
Or bow.
Or bow.
2 wounds.
Given that this thing is large, you would assume it would take 2 wounds and or getting it to 0.
Okay.
Does anybody else have a spear?
Well, don't you just have to wound it? You don't actually have to have a spear?
I mean, I would think so.
I have a spear, but I only have 1. My rate.
I mean,
We gotta do something with this.
you should be able. I mean, you should be able to use an axe to kill this thing. I would think.
PJ, for a large size thing, you can piercing blow, and the piercing blow can only be done by a spear. An axe can't deal a piercing blow.
Well,
Yeah.
Can't it wound though?
it can if you roll your edge. With a
Right,
spear,
that's-
if you make a called shot, you just need a great success.
I got a question. What kind of axe does Ongi have?
What he's going to use to attack this thing right freaking now.
I was gonna say, if you guys are gonna keep talking, I'm gonna have you roll
No,
stealth again.
I'm actually gonna call. Let's see.
Does he have an axe like Nor did?
I don't know, but I'm hitting it with my axe.
Well, if you do have that kind of axe,
I
you
do
should-
not have the worm axe. No.
Oh,
Where's this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Where's this thing? I cannot see no troll to hit. Or do I just need to roll my? Oh, he's a Paul Bonner troll.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
my spear isn't on Hunter's options.
All right, I am hefting my spear, slinging my shield across my back, hefting my axe in both hands.
Let me check Sophie.
And actually, the damage, edge, and injury isn't on there, but she has a 1 in spear.
I think you picked up a spear, but you've never entered the info for it.
All right, I am going to try and.
Let's see,
hit
damage
this
is 5. I don't remember the edge and the injury. You'll have to look those up in the book.
Do I need?
Yeah, look it up now if you're gonna want to use it. All right, give me an attack roll, Angi.
All right. I will roll.
Let him wake up. until I can put it in, because I'm attacking him too.
Oh, you want to do this all at once? Is that even a possible?
Does seem to be asleep.
Ah, come on,
Can only
Sophie!
one person attack?
What?
Can only one person attack?
I guess you can both attack.
Okay.
Um,
Because I'm going to use the spear, but I need the book. There's
That'll have it.
It'll be a mess, right?
Yep. Damage is 5. I think that the edge. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll check.
Richard, is it okay that I added? As our result of our last fellowship phase, I leveled up my valor. And okay, if I have I just took the dwarf hauberk.
Okay. Yeah, that is fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure that it wasn't like I had to be somewhere that I can have conceivably picked it up. I mean, I've been wearing a hauberk all this time.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've leveled it up.
Yep.
Alright. I am a dwarf and I'm killing a troll.
Sophie, it's edge of 9, injury of 14, encumbrance 2.
Edge of 9. Injury of
14.
Wait.
And encumbrance 2. Alright. If you are trying to hit this poor sleeping troll while it is a poor sleeping troll,
Can you add a button, or do I just roll spear?
I can add a button.
Alright, can I roll? Can I roll?
Hold on. Sophie doesn't have a button. You guys have to do it at the same time or it doesn't count.
Hey, dude, you want to get in on this?
You have a spear too.
Alright, it's added, Sophie. If you deselect your token and then select it again, you'll see it.
All right. Count
I could do that.
You don't have a weapon, Bridius.
I gave him a short sword.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you ready?
Alright, 1, 2, 3.
So are we all swinging?
Oh, yes!
What do I need? I need a 13.
You need a just a 6 because he has no parry.
Can I also attack?
You can.
Okay, well, if we're all attacking.
Oh!
What I need, just a 6?
Yeah.
I mean, she hit her edge.
Did she?
She got an 11.
That's not how that works.
Oh.
Her other character, that would work because she has a magic sword.
I'm gonna
I got
re-roll
it,
that
I got
1 if I can.
My sword just kind of bounced off.
Alright, so... Boy, a TN of 6 and most of you... Half of you missed. One of you barely hit.
Well, can I spend for that then?
You can.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a point of courage.
Okay.
So that brings this up to.
PJ. Depth perception, man.
That depth perception thing is hard.
Okay, can I?
What do
No.
I add to this?
I moved
Body.
it up for Pacific.
Body. Okay, so that brought it up to 9.
Okay. So how much damage do you do? You do 8. And you have call check coming your way.
Oh.
Just got it.
And PJ, you just miss.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, go in stances that we're fighting in now.
This is the stance you are in, PJ.
Yep.
You
Well-
all nope. This you guys
The first
initiated
check, you change
combat.
Next round.
That
Yeah.
you can change next round. This is the stance that you are in.
Okay.
To quote, "But harder than stone is the flesh and bone of a troll that sits in the hills alone. As well set your boot to the mountain's root, for the seed of a troll don't feel it." As you guys close in around this troll, there is a clanging of weapons as against stone, and you hear a and the troll's arm comes flying up at you, Idun. As you rolled an eye.
Oh, ouch.
So Idun, you take 9 points of damage, plus another 9 points of damage for a total of 18 points of damage total.
I'm gonna fall back, right?
Yep, to half that to 9. Skip your next turn. But also, fall is it's an interesting choice of words there, Augusta.
No. Oh,
Because
crap.
as this troll's arm flings out and hits you, you go spinning towards the edge. I need you to make an athletics test.
Could I attempt to grab her?
If you'd like to use your next turn trying to do that, you may.
Okay.
Would you like to spend a point of hope, Augusta?
Yeah. Fellowship up if you need it.
I'm gonna use courage.
Okay. As you go skittering off the ledge into the abyss, you manage to throw an arm out and grab the lip of the chasm. It will take you a turn to pull yourself back up.
Did we
So will
actually...
that be like 2 turns? Because
Yes.
1 turn I'm not doing anything.
That's
and the next
correct.
turn... Awesome. But at least I will not be in the range of more attacks, presumably.
So that was the mountain troll's first action.
Oh, good.
First action.
And then he is going to throw back his head as he roars in anger as there's little bits of just very thin trickles of black blood coursing down his neck and shoulders. And he just...
I think he's a morning person.
And I need everyone to give me a Valor test at TN 14.
I roar back at him.
If you fail... Bridius, did you roll Valor?
No, I'm trying to see if I don't have anything to help me with that. I don't.
Alright, if you failed your Valor test, you are unable to spend hope for the remainder of the encounter.
Wait, it goes off heart, correct?
Yes.
Thank goodness
Okay,
he
well,
did.
So
was
I
spending
can
my
say I can spend hope to not have that happen, right?
I was spending
You
my last
can.
one of courage.
If
I
you
am going to spend courage.
will that get you to 14? What's your heart?
Let's see. Heart. -4. Here.
Yeah. I have 6.
I have 6, and I can make it.
Yeah, your heart is not high enough, Idun. Sorry.
Okay.
So you cannot spend hope the rest of the fight.
Thank goodness this happened.
Mar, Bridius, and Angi, you are up.
Okay.
Please kill this.
First thing, I'm going to move to the open stand.
All right.
All right.
I'm thinking I need to stick with the spear of 1 instead of the axe of 3 because of the piercing blow. Is that... We're going to have to get at least 1.
You have to wound it twice. It doesn't have to be piercing though, right? So basically, we have to hit our edge twice.
Right. My edge is a Gandalfin axis.
Okay.
So I've got a 1 in 12.
And with a piercing blow, you have a what? If you use a called shot.
If you do a called shot, then you have to get a great success. If you get the great success, then it's a piercing blow like you hit your edge.
Right.
Right, so that's
I'm
1.
just trying to get the numbers.
Or-
Numbers of it before.
Her edge on her spear is 9 too, so
Yeah, so a 9, a 10, or a great success.
Alright. I'll stick with the spear, and I'm doing.
But you also have to hit the 13 to hit.
Okay.
All right, give me an attack roll, and this will be a great success. So if it fails, then you just don't do any damage.
We can also try riddling the guy.
Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Just, sharpening our axes.
Give me an attack roll. No dice.
All right, Angi is going to swing his axe while crying.
Barak Hazard.
I thought you were. I just had in my mind that sentence ended at crying.
I know, me too. That's where I thought this was going.
I may be terrible at everything, but I've got a little bit of dignity.
All right, here we go.
Yes! Yes!
So you
Um, what would it
Maybe.
do for me?
He's got his protection test. He's got
All right.
You got to hit
Troll.
20.
You got this, buddy. You got this. You got this. Ha ha! Suck it!
Dang it! Dang it!
You know what? Before we do the wait, it doesn't really matter though if I do damage, right?
I mean, getting him to 0 is the equivalent of wounding him.
Okay, well then I'm gonna roll one more dice to see if I can hit. Because I get to re-roll. Nope. Okay, all right.
All right. So you would hit him for 9 damage.
Yeah. I should probably put my shield back up.
You swing your axe around with both hands. You hear a loud cling as it gets wedged underneath one of the thick scales that form this creature's hide. You definitely have its attention, Angi. Bridius, what are you doing?
Can I pull Idun up?
You can try. She is a sturdy dwarf, and you are a tiny, malnourished hobbit, so you're going to need to give me an athletics test at TN 16.
Come on. I can't stand to make that neither.
It's the troll's turn.
Valiant effort.
Angi, and you have gained the troll's attention.
That's right.
As he swings,
Holy crap! 38.
Oh, nuts. I'm down.
that is 27 points of damage as the troll's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm
arm
down.
bashes you right
Not quite.
into the ground.
I am weary, however.
He just raises a fist angrily and squashes you like a bug. And you feel like ribs cracking as your armor goes dents in as this troll's huge fist just crushes you. Mountain trolls are mean. I don't know what game designer was like, you know what we need? We need mountain trolls. But I like that guy.
So like Gareth Red or Hanaran.
Yeah, it was probably him. Let's be honest.
Jerk.
It is y'all's turn.
All right, welcome to Indiary Hole.
All the way into the weary hole.
Also, I need Mar, Angi, and Bridius to give me another Valor test. That's going to be
Again?
every round.
Oh, this sucks.
This is a very scary troll.
16?
Uh-huh. Or 14.
I can't buy that.
No. You guys.
Come on.
Oh, you.
Why? Every time. Every time. Okay, I'm spending some hope.
Is it valor or wisdom?
It's Valor.
Okay.
Oh, you did roll wisdom on that, Ben.
It's the same actually.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Unless you really want me to roll it again.
All right. No, it's fine. Mar, Anki, and Pridius, you're up.
Okay, alright. Angi peels himself off of the cave floor. Oh, well. Good morning to you, sir. Alright. Yes, your bird can take a word to all of our families.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I hit my edge, and that's a great success.
It
Double
is.
piercing?
No, I
Yes.
just need to make an armor test of TN14.
Is that double piercing?
No, it's not how that works.
But a called shot. Can you dodge a called shot?
You can.
I believe that piercing blow. Let's look it up. Look it up in the rules. I believe that piercing blow just triggers an armor test. It's not an automatic armor test. Let's see here. It'll be in the Adventurer's Companion.
I'm looking at.
Let's see here.
These are all new combat tasks, not the. Maybe I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, there should be a list of maybe under weapons.
Here under edge it says.
No, this is a called shot though for the spear.
Oh, it's a cold shot. Okay. Sorry.
Hmm.
Achieving a called shot means that the attack will also result in inflicting superior loss.
Let me just open up the core book.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I'm right, but
Oh, no, that's the block.
all right.
Yeah, it says called shots for spears. The attack results in a piercing blow regardless of the outcome of the feat die.
Yeah, so that just basically is like you hit your edge. So, all right, so he just needs to get a TN14 armor test, which he does. You do, however, do 10 points of damage.
Yeah, does he even notice 10 points of damage?
He's bleeding pretty freely at this point.
We won't know when he gets to 0, because it won't matter unless we've
Yeah,
done.
he's bleeding pretty freely at this point. You guys have done about 50 points of damage to him, so. Ongi and Bridius, did you do your thing,
Ongi
Ongi,
is
already?
going
No, you
to-
did not.
I did not. Alright, Ongi is going to. I should. Shield gives me what? It gives me additional
Parry.
parry. I think I should probably keep some additional parry. So I'm going to do one-handed axe this time. Swing my shield into place as I peel myself off the ground. And okay, come on. Come on, piercing blow. I'm going to reroll one of those d6s. I'm going to reroll the 2.
The 2 is not a d6, it's a d12.
Right, the other 2.
Yeah, there's
Oh, right,
another-
yes, sorry. I couldn't see it because it's a weary.
Failed.
Hey!
Ah, you like them apples.
So you got 13 points of damage?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the troll at this, you swing the axe around and it cuts deep, cuts a huge chunk off the side of the troll's thigh. You think it's a thigh? It's a little hard to tell. It's dark in here. Somebody dropped a torch. There's a lot of troll here. But the troll is bellowing and howling in rage at this point. Bridius, what are you doing?
Wait, do I?
Okay, you want me to go
Get a
for
chance
not being
to-
weird?
I get a chance to try to pull myself.
Yeah, so this round you pull yourself up.
Okay,
Yep.
so I don't have to roll for that.
No, you don't have to roll for it. It's automatic.
So do you want me to go for not being weary or reviving endurance? Ongi.
Well, honestly, you probably can't really do much to actually add to the fight. So if there's any way you can bring our endurance back,
I would
that
think the not being weary would be more helpful because it would take you very many.
that's true. It's going to take a long time to come back from that. Yeah, and I'm the only one that's down that far. So yeah, if you could do that. Thank you. Good
Okay.
call,
Well,
Augusta.
I am using song to see if I can. No.
Oh.
How close are you?
It doesn't matter. He can't spend hope.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't make it anyway.
All right. Idun pulls herself up, and the troll whips around as the spear bites deep into its flank, bringing one of its huge crushing fists down on you, Mar. Hey, Mar.
Oh, why? Come on, that was the exact same roll as last time.
These are the best dice. Oh, it
These are the
feels
worst dice.
good to be back.
Worst dice.
You take 27 points of damage, Mar.
You alive?
Yeah.
Really?
This sucks.
32, so
You're down to 5.
I'm also at 5.
Just turns around and just brings a haymaker right down into Mar, flattening her. Like the stone underneath you, Mar, kind of cracks and gives way with the force of the impact. Mar and Angi and Bridius and Idun, you're all up.
We're going to die.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's do this thing. Ongi brings his axe back around. What other options do I've got? Basically, they're all called shots, or
doing the called shot again with my.
Where is called shots for?
you hit your edge.
I did, but called
Oh,
shot.
go! Okay, well, swinging my axe. Oh, wow. Can't even fix that with the re-rolling one of those dice.
Nope.
Oh, suck.
Would you like me to attack the troll or try to get us out of the weary hole?
Well, given that last roll,
Yeah,
but if
okay.
he hits either of us again, we're probably toast.
Whoever the troll hits next is dead or down anyway.
Okay, so should I swing at it then?
Well, no, the thing is, weary is more important. It doesn't matter what you do, whoever the troll hits is going down. But if you get everybody else out of the weary hole, then they have a better shot at actually making a.
Okay. So I'm going to do in Heart and Comrades or whatever, which is Inspire. Okay,
Can't
well.
spend hope.
No, I can't. This is the worst.
You guys you're trying to inspire your comrades, and you're all like, what have we done? Bridius, what are you doing?
Oh, it's our turn again.
It's your turn, and then it's the troll's turn.
There's
What are you
only one
doing?
of him, and he's trashing
All
us.
right.
Let's try this again.
Dadgummit.
Nope. I like how that roll was like the same, like the exact reverse of Augusta's roll. That amuses me. What also amuses me is how the troll whips around as the little hobbit just kind of like voice kind of squeaks. He just whips around and flails an arm out at you.
Why?
You take
Come on.
18 points of damage, Bridius.
Can you not like do extra
As the troll's fist impacts his damage bonus.
Yeah,
It's 9.
he's getting extraordinary success.
I'm talking about the 9+ at the very end of this thing.
Oh, that's because it's a favorite attack. And that's his attribute level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So basically, in order to miss us, he has to roll extraordinarily crappy dice.
right.
Like he can't not miss us in most cases.
Yeah, especially if you're in the forward stance. Yeah. Because he's rolling
Good
4 success
times.
die plus 9.
Can we run? Can we run?
The troll
I don't think-
whips his arm around and hits you, Bridius, sends you flying into the nearby wall as you feel the air just kind of... go out of you. Mar Ongi, you're up.
Is there any point in continuing this fight?
We can't run. We can't
Yeah.
spin, and we're weary
Why can't we run?
because we can't make the roll.
Well, you might make the roll. It's a athletics test, TN of 10 plus the creature's attribute level to escape.
Team.
So that's
Um,
19.
That is 19. However, I believe only 3 of you would have to make it because technically he's only ever engaged in. Well, he's large and you guys are dwarves, so yeah, never mind.
Could I have to spend hope to use the art of disappearing, though.
Yep.
The only roll that would get me out with my 1 athletics, it's a and
Gandalf.
yeah, a Gandalf.
What are you guys doing?
I'm attacking because I'm not going to be killed running.
All right. Hey, Edge. And
Edge
All right.
right.
and
Come on. Come
And-
on.
shot because I wouldn't. Yeah. Anyway,
Come on.
what did he need?
A 14.
14. Dang it! This is like the 3rd time we've done that, and he's made his roll.
Yep. Trolls are tough.
All right. I will also hit him. Well,
That does hit.
it does hit. Let me roll 1 more d6 for that one. Okay, so that doesn't give me d.
All right, so you got 7 points of damage.
Right.
At this point, the troll is.
He's got a wound him, I think.
Do we know?
What's that?
Have we got him down to 0?
No,
Can
but
we-
he's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brideus and Idun.
Okay, well I'm gonna attack.
You got this. You're not even weary. Hey!
Wait.
That's a 16, right? Oh, dang it! You have Ben dice.
Spend for that.
Can't
Yes.
spend
I
hope.
can't.
Sorry.
Is that
Troll.
or what? That spend.
You can't spend hope because you failed your valor test. Yeah. Brideus, what are you doing?
Is that Hobbit?
I'm gonna try something absolutely crazy. Well, I have to be in the open to use this. I'm gonna do sudden attack, so I would have to make a stealth roll, and then I had it pulled up earlier.
I have it.
Sudden attack, a stealth roll, TN plus the highest attribute level among all enemies present. So I would have to make a 19
That's right.
with
Ooh, got
and that would add, if I make it, I can use that. I get how many ever bonus die. So ordinary success would be 1, great success 2, extraordinary success 3.
All right, give it a shot.
So that is what I am going to do. We are going to 19.
Oh, snap.
Holy crap.
Yes. That. Oh, dang.
So you get 3 bonus dice on your next attack.
Dude,
Isn't
can I
that
use
like
that
right now,
attack
though?
now?
Yeah,
Isn't
do it
that-
now.
isn't-
Yeah, you can attack now.
So, okay, so instead of, I
Hey,
can add,
what about maiming? What do you have? You have a sword.
yes, a sword.
What about maiming strike? I'm reading it real quick. 'Cause I don't have a. If called shot attempt is successful, adversary rolls 1 success die less on each roll made using the targeted ability.
You could also do a break armor with your axes and mattocks to weaken up his hide.
What?
That seems like it would have been a good idea.
Y'all should have been doing that.
Well, I didn't know.
If the called shot is successful, the target rolls 1 success die less on his protection test for the length of the fight.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna swing with my short sword, and
All right.
then I'll just add 3 more d6s. To
Sounds good.
And what's that do here? I got 5, and
And then roll 3d6.
d6. I got.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's your body, PJ?
My body is 2.
Okay, so that adds 4 damage, so 9. So as you guys are just being pummeled into the ground,
And that was,
Bridius kind of
That
picks himself up off the wall, and as the troll is turning around to punch another one of you down, he jumps onto the troll's back and just buries the sword as deep as it will go, which, as it turns out, is not very deep, but it is definitely deep enough to let the troll know that he's there.
And I guess it's too late to say that was supposed to be a called shot, or the maiming.
You have to declare that before you roll. You said you were just attacking, so.
Okay.
All right. Did you already go, Idun? You did.
Yeah, didn't I?
You did. You missed by 1. So okay, it is the troll's turn again. The troll. It's gonna try to slap you off there, Bridius.
Come on, little buddy.
Hey, Bridius. That's 9 points of damage. I don't think he's rolled lower than like a 10 on the feat die this whole fight. I believe you're unconscious, Bridius.
Yes, I am unconscious.
He hits Bridius off, and the hobbit goes spinning across the floor to where the torch is now sputtering. Angi, Mar, and Idun, you are up.
All right.
Why don't you go first?
See if I can't get his health down.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna swing my shield back around. At this point, if he hits me, he's gonna yeah. It's not gonna matter. So I am going to break his face. I will try and break his face by rolling another 6. Come on. No!
You switch to a two-handed grip and swing, and the axe makes contact with the troll's stony leg, and there's a loud clanging, and the axe almost... You know how, like, if you've got a hoe or something and you hit a rock without meaning to, and, like, there's that vibrating shock that goes all the way up your arms?
Yeah.
Rattles your teeth?
I feel that in my rib cage. And
Yep.
It just hurt.
It
Yo,
just
she's trying to push
hurts.
him off the cliff.
It is your turn, Mar.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
That was a called shot, for what it's worth.
Hey, look at that!
Idun.
Do you guys want me to try to rally you guys or attack?
I have to have 6. Like, it wouldn't matter for me.
I guess you couldn't spend hope to make that, could you?
Nope. I can't spin hope.
Oh,
That's why we're not rolling Valor. We've all failed that.
Yep.
Have I failed that?
Yep.
Did I fail that?
Yeah.
No, I used a point of hope to not fail that.
Did you use a point of help to not fail the second one, too?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The first one I made. The second
That's my bad then. You'll need to do one of those every round.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. That's his free ability. It doesn't actually cost him any hate. It just because he's big and scary. All right. Idun, what you doing?
So if I hit my edge, it'll do the shield break thing. Is that how that works?
Break armor. Break armor would be a called shot, so you just need to get a great success.
Oh.
If you hit your edge, then that would be a potential wound.
Oh gosh.
Oh, here's our first sleeping attack.
Your
Okay.
edge.
Sorry, what?
What's your edge?
For a Matic, it's probably a Gandalf. Oh, it's a 10. That's actually not as bad as I was thinking. So you have a 1 in 6 chance of hitting your edge.
Right. You have
He
1 in
keeps.
hitting edge and 1 in 6 of great success, but you do. Seems like edge might be a better thing to shoot for because you do damage either way.
Well, at this point, he may have 0.
He may have 0, but
Okay, so I'm just gonna attack him. All right.
You swing the Matic around, and it's like hitting solid granite. At this point, the troll is lumbering a bit. You see some of the rocks scatter as the fight nears the edge, bouncing away into the abyss.
Before I did that, I wasn't thinking that.
And he's gonna whip around and try to crush you, Adun. You take 9 points of damage.
This is so. That's. He got. Okay. I hate this guy. What would it take to actually push this guy into the ravine?
he's
I would say a very high athletics roll.
How high are we talking?
Let's say TN19.
Does anyone actually have athletics?
I
I had-
have a little bit.
I had 3 in athletics.
But you're not here.
Yeah,
I have a 2 in athletics. But I'm weary.
Yeah.
But I can still spend hope. Would my stiff neck of the dwarves apply in this case, since it's a skill test?
You spend hope. You need to do a valor test first.
Stiff neck of the dwarves would still apply, yeah.
Okay, alright, but I still gotta do that valor
Yeah,
test.
give me that valor test.
Alright. Here we go. Where'd it go? There it is. 16?
Yeah, 14.
Oh.
God.
You are pretty scared, Angi.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna push him in there anyway.
All right.
I'm going to.
So
you would have.
as the move in battle kind of moves closer and closer to the cliff, you slam all of your weight into one of the troll's legs, hoping to knock him off balance. Give me an athletics test.
What, TN19 you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is +3.
Oh,
16.
oh,
That last valor test, we could have done that.
close. You slam all of your weight into the troll's leg, and you feel your shoulder kind of go.
But does it, like, at least rock gratifyingly?
There's no gratifying rocking.
No. Well, then
Maybe that's just as well, though. Mara, it is your turn.
Still doing the spear thing.
I've reached the point of evening where.
This is a call shot.
Oh, you hit your edge instead! Dang it! Dang it! Oh!
Dude, if
You doing?
Cruel joke!
Moving up.
if you're able to wake me up, I would be able to go that round because I'm in the open stance.
Okay. I will do inspire, which that takes away weary. Would you wake up on that, or would it have to be the other one?
You'd have to do the one that helps him recover endurance,
Okay.
which is also inspire. So
That is song or what?
song or inspire.
Okay, so I can still use inspire. Okay.
Yep, but it's got to be. You got to be in the open stance.
Anyway,
Oh,
open
right.
anyway.
Okay.
Not that he's not hitting anybody, but
Great
Ah!
success.
Yes.
Okay, so you
Yes.
we get how much?
So everyone regains 4 endurance, or sorry, 3 endurance.
That's it?
you should
It's 3 because the chart is off by 1, which is how I always remember.
All
So
right.
it says 2 on an extraordinary, which means it's 3 on an extraordinary.
No, it's no.
No.
You're in, All companions who lost endurance during this combat regain 1 on a great success 2 and an extraordinary success
Right.
3. Okay,
And the
so-
chart is off by 1.
Okay.
So it's
1, 2.
Okay. So I can go this round. I am going to attempt to push this ugly thing.
All right. So you sort of wake up and you see the troll kind of stepping over you, Bridius, and you're going to attempt to trip him. Give me an athletics test.
Skills.
TN 19.
TN 19.
The thing. Oh!
Gummit!
Oh!
As you do so, the troll whips around and aims at you, Mar, as you're still trying to chip away at it with the spear, and you take 9 points of damage.
Down.
Okay.
Angi, it is your turn.
Alright. So if I tried to push him again, would that be another 19?
Mm-hmm.
I do. Okay. Alright.
I'll lower it by 2 this time, since both of you kind of were trying to trip him up last round. So it'll be 17.
Okay. Thank you, good sir. Alright. Here goes. Yes!
Woohoo!
Wouldn't have mattered. Angi, how do you want to do this?
Oh, thank goodness. I am going to throw my axe down and my shield down and then just bull rush this guy's leg.
So you throw your axe down. You're kind of right there next to his leg because you just thrown yourself against it. So you just throw your axe down and you reach down and you wrap both arms and your hands almost meet. Like this troll's leg. This troll may have been here for hundreds, if not thousands of years. This troll is huge. And as you wrap your arms around it, your fingers don't quite touch because its leg is so huge, and you just plant your feet and you lift, not with your knees, but with your back. And you feel something in your back go pop. But you just keep and suddenly you feel the troll's leg beginning to rise. And you hear the troll go, and he just topples end over the cliff.
We're alive.
You are officially the king of.
And he
deadlifting
vanishes
among
into
all
the
great
abyss
dwarfs.
below.
Oh, dang. Oh.
He's rolling dice. Are we waking something up?
No! we dump a troll onto a bar and say, how much damage does it do?
What are you guys doing?
I think I'm gonna stand
Staying
and
conscious.
stretch my back until I hear that pop.
Yep.
Oh, well. Is Mar alive?
Yeah, she's alive. She's just unconscious.
Alright, so we should...
Little B goes over and wakes her up.
All right, so you all can spend 30 minutes catching your breath.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Alright.
That's body.
Yeah.
Hey, when can we clear travel fatigue?
When you get back to a safe place.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be for a little bit.
Basically, when you take a fellowship phase and make a camp and all that
Okay,
stuff.
alright. So, troll, assuming that this was the only troll, because you are a kind of merciful game master, and because it's 11 o'clock, can I search the horde? Or hole, rather.
Search now, or like we can make camp and not be weary when we search it.
So when you look around, there is, for lack of better terms, kind of a nest. And it's not really a nest, but it's just the pile of old bones that this troll has made around himself, you would guess, for hundreds of years.
Wow.
And it's kind of like built around, along with stones and other things, kind of right here on the edge where you found him sleeping.
Okay.
Can we look over the edge and make sure this troll's dead down there?
That's true. We've conquered bad, terrible things before and thought they were dead, and then lit them on fire and they screamed. So
That's fair. If you want to shine your your torch over the edge and give me an awareness test, whoever the party lookout is.
I mean, we can't spend point of hope now.
Anki, are you the lookout?
Yeah. All right. 14.
Yes.
hey,
Angi, this hole is so deep you cannot see the bottom.
Well, that's a good sign, I think. I mean, he was tough, but there's when, you know, an entire planet comes up to meet you. I mean,
All right. So, do you guys want to inspect the troll's nest for treasure and then call it a night?
That seems the
Yes.
appropriate action at this juncture.
Okay.
can we do weary if we can unweary ourselves?
Well, you.
If we caught our breath, I'm not weary.
That must
I
be
am-
nice for
I
you.
have 3 points from being unwearied. If I had no travel fatigue, I would
First of
not-
all, I need everyone to give me a cursed treasure test. Just be a corruption test at T and 16.
Can I not be weary? Why do I have to be weary? I'm barely weary.
Can I spend hope at this point?
You can
That would be
at
But
your
you need-
heart.
hard, but I don't know if
Oh,
that's enough
thank
to
you,
make
Dice.
it. Yeah.
For once. All right. If you
Yeah.
failed, you gain 1 point of shadow as gazing upon the not unsubstantial treasure hoard of this troll. You find the detritus, really, of a great dwarven civilization which was here long ago. These are probably just the trinkets that when the dwarves left, they left behind because they weren't worth carrying. That the troll has slowly gleaned, you would guess. You find gold, silver, gemstones. If everybody would like, you can give me...
Oh, it's smoking pipe.
that seems unlikely. If everyone would like, and you don't have to, you can all give me 2 d12 rolls.
2d12.
I mean, is there a reason why we wouldn't?
No.
I got a
Or you want these separate or together? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I just need to see the actual dice.
I got a 3 and an 11.
Okay.
Is cool.
10 and 10.
Hmm.
Hobbits and their treasure sense.
And go ahead and give me your 2d12, Augusta.
Yeah.
magical treasure.
I'm gonna do that.
Magical treasure.
Oh, look, cursed treasure for you.
All right.
Maybe.
So, PJ and Augusta, you can each choose to basically wager a number of d6s, and it will be up to your currently unspent XP.
I guess we could have added this current
Nope.
XP that we-
Session is not over.
I only have 1 D6 to go.
All right.
And I got a 6!
Okay.
Wait, so wait, wagering? How does that work?
Basically, if you roll a 6 on that die, or on the XP that you wager, if you roll a 6 on that die, if you roll 1 6, then you get a possible magical item. If you roll 2 6s, you get a magical weapon or piece of armor. And if you don't roll any 6s, then you'll just get a piece of treasure that's worth more than a normal share would be. But
Okay, so I'm basically spending XP to do this.
well, if you get a 6, then you basically choose to spend half the XP that you spent to get whatever it gets you. If you don't get a 6, then you don't lose anything. If you don't get a 6, then you don't spend any XP. So,
Okay, so
you'll be
can I-
spending that 1 XP, PJ.
Well, I know, but once I spend that XP, does it move over to used experience?
Yes. Yeah, it moves over to user experience.
Oh, so I don't lose anything, but if I get magic treasure, I'm paying XP.
You'll pay XP for it, right.
Okay.
But basically, it's a wager because you have to pay whatever half of the XP that you wagered is. So, and you can do up to 6. So at the most, it could cost you 3 XP.
I would do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I've got 4 unused experience, so I will do all of that, I guess.
All right,
Yes,
roll
okay.
4d6.
Running across magic treasure in this game is...
Scarce as hen's teeth, as they say. Holy crap.
But, that being said...
Idun, I guess I just want to point out that Sophie's been playing this game since the beginning, and she has never done that.
I've never gotten magical treasure ever once with any character in game.
Well, you do have... Mar has her pipe.
Almost all.
Mar has her pipe.
Yes, but I didn't roll dice for that. I won it.
You spent so much for it. Okay.
My soul.
We'll start with you, Idun. And then
She's smoking it, by the way.
and then we'll come to Bridius. So first of all, there's a hoard here of about 200 treasure. And basically, if you got magical treasure, you don't get any of that. So Mar and Angi split that between yourselves.
How much we get?
100 100 each.
Oh snap! We can get rid of some standing now, yo.
Don't forget, treasure is a 1-for-1 for encumbrance.
Oh, nuts!
Well, I'm already weary, so can I just take it all?
I would say
For the next month.
there are going to be some limits to what you can actually carry without like a wagon and things like that. But
there is the guardhouses that we could set up.
True. You could also stash these and then come back for it at a later point.
all right,
And as far as we know,
Okay, magical treasure.
so
Let's do this.
wow, okay, this is exciting because there's a specific item which I designed for Idun, and I design these things without knowing if they will ever get used. Idun, as you're kind of going through all of this, you come up with a beautiful shield forged by the dwarves of Khazad-dûm in the first age. Clearly, the craftsmanship is far beyond anything that your people would be capable of.
This is like a Shield of Achilles type shield.
And when you grip it in your hands, Ithilden runes along the outer rim seem to shine for a moment in the torchlight and then vanish again. This is indeed a worthy shield. It would take a lore test from a lore master like Mar, or visiting a lore master to learn the story of it, but this is a beautiful shield. All right.
So I don't know what it does yet, but
Right.
okay.
You know that it is. It has its first quality is just the cunning make. You'll have to upgrade your valor to, or visit a lore master to unlock, which Mark could help you with on a fellowship phase if you guys wanted to do that. It would cost both of you that fellowship phase, but if you both wanted to do that, to unlock one of the other qualities, so I'll send that to you in a minute. And then, Bridius, as you're going through this pile of treasure, Just kind of sorting through. I mean, you've seen the fabulous horde of Kibblesum the Silver now, so it's kind of hard for you to be impressed. Like maybe these dwarves, they'd be impressed by this. But you're just kind of rummaging around as Angi is, I assume, madly filling pockets. And something glints in the torchlight that catches your eye. And you reach down and lift up. It's not much larger than a good-sized marble. But as you hold it up to the light, the facets of the Fireheart gem glitter in the torchlight. You have no idea what this is worth. But you may in fact have found the last Fireheart gem in the north of the world.
What?
And
There
as
aren't more in the mine?
I don't know. You don't know.
Let's see if we can't find out before we leave. But until then,
And that is where we're going to stop for tonight.
good times. Oh, that fight was gnarly.
Man.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you guys.
Ben, how much gold does Anki have now?
He has 108 treasure.
If you can carry it.
Right. How much does it take to get up to raise your level, to raise your standing? It's 12 each level, right?
You need
12, then
you-
24, then 36.
What's your standing now?
My standing is 1.
Oh, cool. So you're not starting from scratch.
36,
48.
48. That's level 4. Level 5 is 72, if I'm correct.
Hey,
No.
100.
I have enough!
What was that, Sophie?
A 4. How much? So you can afford to get exactly. You have it exactly to penny what you need for a standing of 4.
All right. I gotta look up what's standing before actually.
Well, it only goes up to 6.
It's like
What?
6 like King Bard.
60, 70.
Yeah, Bard would have a standing of 6, yeah.
Oh, so 4 is.
4 is what Astrid had after I think she lost favor with everybody. I think
Okay.
she got 5. I think
I can't
Alright,
believe
okay.
tonight, you guys.
that was amazing.
And an excellent reversal of fortune. On.
And for Ongi to get the killing
So now the
is so perfect.
You may call me Ongi Troll Thrower.
Yeah.
so now
Like, name in a song for this.
Would you say, PJ?
So now the Fireheart gem, it's like the size of a small jewel or something like that.
Yeah, it's not very large at all. It's like the size of a marble basically, which is a pretty big jewel, admittedly, but
Wow.
all right. Well, I will give you guys the next 2 weeks to ponder all of that and decide what to do with your newfound fortune and how to carry it back if you're going to spend it. And we'll see you all Monday night for the continuing adventures of the other party.
much
As
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
get
that's important.
You'll get, let's say 3 XP for tonight. 1 for finding the Fireheart gem, 1 for killing the troll, and then 1 for the session. So 3 XP for tonight.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
All right, good times, everyone. Thank you so
Don't
much.
forget to send me what I know about my sword.
I will
so far, or
send.
my shield.
I will send it to you right now.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone.